Welcome back to today's video. My name is Aria, and today's video I'm going to share some secrets on how to tell a friend you like them more than a friend. Number 1. Avoid waiting too long to tell your friend. Now it's a good idea to take some time to reflect on your feelings before sharing them with your friend. Some crushes don't last that very long and may pass within a few weeks, but if you're sure that you actually like them romantically rather than platonically, it's usually better that you tell them instead of overthinking the situation and building it up in your mind. The sooner you share your feelings, the sooner you can either move on if they don't reciprocate or start moving your relationship in a more romantic direction. If, of course, you both feel the vibe. I've got some solid tips coming up before that, though. Let me first highlight situations where I think it's best not to reveal how you feel to reveal your feelings to your friend. Number 1. If you're in a relationship, it's disrespectful to your partner to tell someone else that you like them. Number 2. If they are in a relationship, if your friend is in a relationship, it's usually preferable to keep your feelings to yourself. Respect your friend's decision when it comes to who they want to date. Number 3. Your friend has just broken up with their partner. Nope, that's not the best time for you to now tell them how you feel. It's usually better to wait until your friend has come to terms with the breakup before telling them how you feel. Number 4. Your friend has told you they want to stay single. Now, when someone tells you that they aren't looking to date anyone, take them for their word, so take their word for it. If you tell them how you feel, your friend might feel as though you aren't respecting their decision. And finally, number 5, your friend wouldn't make a good partner for you. It's easy to assume that two people who get on well as friends would also make good partners, but that isn't necessarily true. If you reflect on what it would be like to actually date your friend, you might just have second thoughts about revealing your crush. I mean, if the two of you aren't likely to be a good match, telling your friend how you feel will have no payoff, so you might not want to go down like that line. Number 2, ensure you're prepared for your friend's response. Now, before you tell your friend about your feelings, make sure you're ready to cope with the possibility that they may not feel the same way. If you cannot bear the thought of rejection, it's probably not the best time to tell your friend about how you feel. Even if they're your BFF and you know them well, you can't predict their response. Bear in mind there's a chance that they will want to end your friendship if they don't return your feelings. So, make sure you're willing to take that risk. Number 3, choose a private place to share your feelings. Don't have a conversation about your feelings where other people can overhear you. If it feels like someone else is listening, you and your friend might feel really awkward. So, pick a private or semi-private place to have that conversation. That way, if you even get rejected, you won't be so embarrassed. Number 4, pick your moment carefully. So think about the right time for the conversation, not just the place. If you pick an inconvenient moment, you may come across as an insensitive person. For example, if your friend is tired or stressed, it's probably the best to wait. Your friend may have questions and the conversation could take a while. Always remember to allow enough time for a proper, deeper conversation. Don't start a conversation about your feelings if your friend is dealing with a major setback or is under a lot of pressure from work or at school or something like that. You may come across as self-centered if you start talking about your crush and your love instead of supporting your friend in a time of need. Number 5, emphasize how much you value their friendship. Now, when you share your feelings, tell your friend that your friendship is actually more important to you. This makes it clear that you see them as a true friend and haven't been spending time with them just because you hope that they'll become your girlfriend. Here are some of the things that you can say to underline how much you actually value them as a friend. You could say something like, I just want you to know that if you don't feel the same way, I still really want us to be friends, or you could say our friendship means a lot to me. Whether you feel the same way towards me or not, I'd still like us to stay friends. Number 6, think carefully before telling them over text. You may have heard that you should always have important conversations face-to-face rather than via text, but it's not always a bad idea. It depends on your situation personally and how you and your friend usually communicate. So here are advantages. For instance, of revealing a crush of our text. Sharing your feelings via text can feel safer than doing it in person. You don't have to watch your friend's reaction. You don't have to read their response until they're ready or you're ready. Some friends are used to having in-depth conversations over text via text already, so it's normal for you and your friend. You know to be having that chat back and forth, and it may make sense to tell them about your crush during your usual texting conversation. If your friend doesn't return your feelings, they may find it less awkward to tell you via text rather than face-to-face. However, there are also, of course, several disadvantages to sending your message via text. 1. You may not get to see your friend's initial reaction. 2. You won't be able to see their body language or facial expression, which can tell you a lot about how they truly feel. 3. You have to rely on words alone to get your message across, and it's not always easy to strike the right tone over text. You may have to wait a long time for their response, and this waiting period may cause you a lot of anxiety. Every situation is different, so take time to weigh the pros and the cons. Number 7, prepare some phrases you can use. You don't need to have a word-for-word script for your in-person conversation, but it can help to think of how you'd like to approach the conversation and spell out exactly how you feel. In general, it's best to be direct and to the point. If you start blabbing, you may appear nervous and can make your friend nervous too. So to open the conversation, you could say something like, "Hey, there's something I like to tell you to tell your friend how you feel," you could say. "Recently, I've realized that I have some romantic feelings for you." You can then follow up with a specific question like, "I was wondering whether you could see us as more than just friends." Well, by asking a friend a question, you probably make it easier for them to respond. If you simply tell them that you love them, they might be at a loss of words. As for how to answer, especially if they're surprised by what you've said. So, a question form always wins. Number 8, give your friend time to process what you've said. Now, your friend may already know that you have romantic feelings for them, but it may come as a complete surprise if you're good at hiding your emotions. So, make it clear that you don't expect them to respond right away. For example, you could say this might be a shock, and I'm not expecting you to say anything right now. I just wanted you to know how I feel, right? If your friend makes it clear that they don't return your feelings, you might need to give them some space. This may take a few days or a few weeks depending on their response. Just follow their lead when it comes to hanging out. Stay in touch, but let them decide when to meet next. The most important thing to remember is that your friendship may never be the same again. However, rejection can be very beneficial because it can give you a sense of closure, frees you up to pursue other romantic relationships, and really makes you a free bird. My name is Aria. Thanks for watching this video. If it gave you value, don't forget to share it with a friend as well. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers!